The Anatomy of Hatred in Politics, a treatise. Hate in politics is as old as the earliest version of statecraft, prominently rising ever since the French leftists stood out against the king, leading to various levels of cruelty, simply because of a mere thought. Households divided. Siblings attack each other, while fathers and sons dig into each other's throats. But why is it? Ever since the rise of educated people, the first seed of discord was sown, more likely to question, more likely to go their own way, rather than resort to whatever the majority thinks. However, that opinion holds no weight until we hold the voice, resonation with the general population, the hunger, lack of fulfilled needs, and anger. Any anger works as long as it's aimed at anyone and not them. Soon enough, with that criteria, when people start becoming agitated, they either learn and also forge their own path or become isolated, a bubble, which is the most dangerous type of following. Isolated followers very often know not what they're actually following, they just think it's right, or see it as the only option as the alternative is worse. However, for that to be true, we need to feel threatened, like their existence is at stake even if it might not be the case. Isolation typically works under effective demagogues or those who know not the victim personally, as isolated followers are not followers, we're victims. Where typically manipulators say, "We will come after you. The person with you is evil. Listening to him is treason. You are either with us or against us," and then attempt to show the goal of our movement as a noble or paragon of moral righteousness. Which is why you see that most politics focus on small drama, eye dust, and ear fluff to distract from the things that do matter, like the economy, ecology, and social policy. Character murder plays a huge role in that too. While not literal murder, it plays a very similar role. Character murder is a string of defamation, pulling ad hominem to murder someone's character and pushing them off the political stage, while also reinforcing the bubble of those affected, because it reinforces the pattern of the opposing side being evil. Where do manipulators come from? The manipulators appear whenever a market of ideas or political discourse is opened in any way and comes from the very human nature of wanting more power or influence. We're often very loud, acting as demagogues, which is more attractive to the average voter base compared to the complicated process of argument, reason, which is often unclear to your average voter. However, where there is one demagogue, there is two demagogues. Another one appears equally as loud and equally as popular, a rival to demagogue 1. This creates a stalemate, and to break it, another side needs to break the other, which is why hatred becomes prevalent. That's the only thing demagogues are good at, and hatred breeds death, and death breeds hatred again due to martyrdom, effectively starting the isolation process. And tribalism. Why it matters more than ever in contemporary politics. The rise of the industrial and post-industrial societies, people are becoming way more educated. However, education, as I said, brings progress and sometimes progress creates unhealthy cultures or habits. This is particularly true with the creation of informational technologies. The world is connected more than ever, but also isolated than ever. People are more likely to prefer staying at home with their technologies, which is also very human. However, that breeds depression and all sorts of mental issues due to lack of connection and personal fulfillment. Some may not even have the time for their hobbies. 8-hour work weeks are, in general, not enough for hobbies or for adults. There is also many children who are trapped in virtual insanity because of school stress, pass dopamines, and make entertainment very attractive compared to going to draw, sing, dance, just creating anything in general. It's unhealthy and stressful. And people turn to politics as a result and are exposed to a huge amount of information. They want to feel important or like they're making a change and genuinely believe they are, which is why they engage and go through the same patterns that early demagogues have laid out. This is the same reason why extremism disproportionately targets youth, especially for platforms like Shitter, where people pretend to know politics but know not. Solution: we have to stop making man-made children and expired adults who just drift throughout their life without any fulfillment. Their intelligence matures, but their mind does not. They're still as emotional, still as impressed, still as needy. We will end up thinking we are more mature than others and end up following the same footsteps as demagogues did and then carry it into adulthood. We have to lift the load off our shoulders so we can pursue our hobbies, interests, something real, rather than resort to surrogates that make them feel something but destroys their soul. I have been a victim of extremist grooming myself, and I can sympathize with some rather unsavory figures like Vojislav Šešelj, Lenin, Robespierre. All of them were aspiring, actually promising youth, but they were crushed by the very systems that swore to advance their interests. Something that was born to create was just crushed, and hatred was the only thing left in their hearts. Thank you for listening, and I would like to hear your opinion on this matter.